What's going on, gamers? It's Solember, your Phoenix Gamer, here with a list of the top 10 cards that I think need a reprint. You are all intelligent people, so I won't waste your time asking for subs or likes. I just hope you enjoy the video. Now, my criteria for this list considers how fun a card could be for casual players as well as pros. If you are a pro player who doesn't see a lot of use in some of these cards, consider them if you ever try to get a younger player into the game. I also took into consideration how long the cards have been out of print, how much potential was missed by the general player base, and how much I personally enjoyed a card. So feel free to speak up about cards that you would want to see reprints of. I do love to read through the comments. Now, let's jump right in. Number 10. Armed Samurai Benkei. Last printing, October 2nd, 2012. I'm starting off this list with my favorite card of all time, Armed Samurai Benkei. Nostalgia plays a huge part of my desire to see this card reprinted for a new generation. I have a playset of red-lettered rares from Duelist League 14 locked in a seer. This is the original OTK monster from back in 2005. I would love to see new kids building casual decks with this card and giving their friends the same experience I subjected my classmates to 17 years ago. Number 9. Big Bang Shot. Last printing, June 28th, 2013. Another favorite of mine, Big Bang Shot has some real versatility to consider. At its core, it can be used for a slight attack boost and piercing damage. Digging deeper though, and you can find some overlooked plays just under the surface. This card shines when equipped to an opponent's monster. If removed from the field, Big Bang Shot banishes the equipped monster, so it can be spot remover. Additionally, if you're playing a player who isn't familiar with Big Bang Shot, you can secure a sneaky win if their equipped monster attacks your defense position monster. The piercing damage is always inflicted to your opponent, regardless of who controls the attacking monster. That's why I would love to see cards like this reprinted. Number 8. Blood Mephist. Last printing, August 6, 2011. Blood Mephist is playable and scarce. It's only been released as a championship card, so it's incredibly hard to come by. It has one of the most potent burn effects on a monster card, and it wouldn't be overpowered in the modern state of play. There are many decks that could splash him in for situational victories, and that makes it a card I've always had on more lists than were viable. That's why I believe Blood Mephist desperately needs a reprint so the average player can get their hands on it. Number 7. Lady Ninja Yae. Last printing, July 12, 2006. In my mind, Lady Ninja Yae represents what Yu-Gi-Oh! Could have been and should have been. I ran a Win deck as one of my best 2 performing decks in the mid-aughts. Armed Dragons, Harpy Lady 1s, Rising Air Currents, Flying Kamakiri No. 1, Garuda the Wind Spirit, Sylphid. I can list the whole deck to this day. I love the idea of elemental support being built into a deck, rather than an archetype. When archetypes started taking over the game, this kind of play didn't hold up. Lady Ninja Yae fits in with modern renditions of wind monsters tossing around spells and traps as their specialty, so she may have established this theme. The effect is still good enough despite the cost, and players today deserve the chance to say spines don't bend that way. Number 6. Elemental Hero, Air Neos. Last printing, February 28, 2007. Air Neos is a strange turnip. While not particularly amazing in an oversaturated category of cards, the Elemental Heroes, it was featured prominently by a series protagonist, yet has not seen a reprint in over 15 years. To add to the bizarre, there are several prominent rumors surrounding this card's lack of a reprint, despite its counterparts all getting theirs. Was it Italian airline Air Neos that stopped the reprints? Was it some rogue player who claimed the trademark? Does it feature stolen artwork? Konami isn't telling. Another layer to the mystery lies in Air Neos being absent from video games such as Master Duel. Perhaps we'll get a reprint of this lost card someday, but I'd just settle for an answer. Number 5. Kuraz, the Light Monarch. Last printing, July 15th, 2016. Destruction and draw power make Kuraz a standout monarch. While he doesn't get much use, even in monarch decks, he is flexible in a lot of other decks. If you have cards that activate when destroyed or sent to the graveyard, Kuraz can get them where they need to be with the benefit of drawing cards. His light attribute makes him fit into a lot of decks easily enough too. Maybe we'll get a Mega variant someday, but I'll just be happy if he gets reprinted in a tin or a structure deck. Number 4. Gallus the Star Beast. Last printing, February 2nd, 2012. Gallus is an excellent card for beginners and pros. In order to work, the deck needs to have some level of consideration for his effect. He's a great finisher in clutch situations, and he can be used recklessly in a Monster Mash deck. There have been a lot of niche users for Gallus over the years. It's easy to understand and has decent amounts of versatility. I hope to see a reprint in a starter deck perhaps. Something that people can get their hands on. Number 3. Contract with Dawn 1000. Last printing, March 31st, 2017. Entering the top 3, Contract with Dawn 1000 was completely overlooked when it was released, and it hasn't really seen any play since. Draw power and life point reduction are excellent considerations when aiming for an OTK, or playing a deck that can benefit from the extra cards. The hand reveal and the ability to stagnate summons can be useful in the secondary degree. This card could have been a staple, so a reprint now could do wonders for it. It could stand to be released as a common or splashed into any of the tins or structure decks. I think a lot of players could find use for this card and some clever strategies going forward. Number 2. Clashing Souls. Last printing, March 31st, 2017. Another Duelist Saga card that was and still is grossly underused, Clashing Souls can win games and clear boards. It creates a unique pocket scenario with the opponent that can be disastrous for the first player to flinch. If you have a card that can't be destroyed by battle, you have nothing to lose playing this card, so it can really put the heat on your opponent to give up their life points or lose their field. I'd love to see this card as a common in a structure deck based around quick play spells. But more than that, I would love to see players having fun trying to measure what their opponent is up to when playing this card. Number 1. Fiend Comedian. Last printing, June 6, 2003. The king of hard-to-get cards is Fiend Comedian. When released 19 years ago, players had no idea how important the graveyard would become. This card is a forgotten gem that has a lot of uses. Why there have been no reprints is beyond me, as it is a perfectly simple and unique card that creates memorable dueling experiences. This would be great to see in a retro reprint pack. Going all the way back to 2003 since the last release of this very usable, very versatile card is ridiculous, especially since it was only a common back then. This is one of the few exceptions to my reprint as a common suggestion where I think an ultra rare version of this card, maybe with the original art, would be incredible in the current game. That's the list, everybody. 10 cards that I think need reprints. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found inspiration here with my words. I hope you have fun in your games this week. I hope you go out, make the next meta deck, just have fun, enjoy life, and remember, you're important. Stay hydrated. Love yourself. Thanks, everybody.